Okay, this is old electronics fan, and this is a tag sale find. Basically, as I got it from the tag sale, I haven't really done anything with it. I did plug it in. It doesn't hum, but it doesn't have two working channels. It's supposed to be stereo. That's a problem. So, what are we dealing with? I don't know. Probably, well, it could be dirty controls, could be a failed component. We're going to find out. We hope. Come on. Are you going to come? Cooperate, please. Whoa! That one does not want to come. Let's see, do I have my string around here? Aha. I am going to try a string trick. I don't know if it will work. Okay. I have successfully done this before. I don't know if that's going to work or not on this one. I had one radio where the knob was just so tight together. The only thing I could get under the knob, oh come on, was the string. Yes, that worked. It's amazing how that works. Very handy trick. Someone else showed me that. So if you haven't seen it before, now I've shown you. Okay, we got a bunch of screws on the bottom. We have screws on the back. Alright, let's do this. Throw this over here. Bounced the knob somewhere. I'll find it later. I think. How many knobs do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and one of them went somewhere else. Hate that. Well, that will be. I have to send out the search party for that one. It went somewhere. You would think something that large wouldn't just disappear on you. It happens all the time. Okay, so one of the things I was rather surprised by was the reception this thing gets. This isn't exactly a high-end radio, but it's fairly good at picking up stations. Once I get both channels working again, we'll do a little scan. My quick test of it revealed that it's not bad. Surprisingly good, actually. Alright. Hope the cell comes out with these screws. I don't have to take the feet off. See, some of them don't connect to anything. Looking inside, let's see if it can cooperate. Oh. And yeah, that foot has to come out. I had a feeling they would do that to me. I guess it makes sense. You got a metal frame there that you can produce a hole in, and then you don't have to worry about putting a nut inside like those two have. Alright. There. It says to be up more, I guess. Oh well. The last one. Fine, be that way. Aha, there we are. Interesting. Oh, I see what it's done. Okay. Alright, so I didn't try the 8-track, but that might actually work. Oops, no. Interesting. A lot of rust. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is, I think, clean the controls. Now, actually have a circuit diagram for this. Very teeny tiny. I have to make that a bit larger before I could read that. If you can read that, there it is. That's the circuit diagram. Alright. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying. If it was, I'll take it out and edit. So what I'm going to do is use some contact cleaner. Now, throw some light on the subject first. Alright, put that there. This out of the way. I wish I hadn't dropped that knob. Well, anyway. Okay, so you can't see. I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. And more. I have to get something to point with, because if I don't, you won't see anything but my big fat fingers. Yeah, heck, I'll use a screwdriver. These are stereo controls, and it looks at first glance like it's a mono or a digital control, but it's not. You'll notice that this part of the there's a wafer here, but on the other side there's a wafer here. And what they've done on these is, this is a stereo control, but they've got a wiper facing against this wafer, and they have a wiper facing against that wafer. So you do indeed have two controls in this one tiny piece. They've reduced the size. There's the other. I assume this is the balance control. So anyway, so let's see what we got here. Trying to see if I have a way to get inside. Yeah, maybe I can. Let's see here. Oh, and you are looking at okay. Come on. No, no, and no. Stop. Okay. Yes, that should do. And just for fun, shoot it in there. Oh yeah, that works. That works really well. Haha. Okay. Alright. I don't know if you saw that, but there's a little hole in the back there, and that really does allow you to get in there pretty well. Alright, so let's see. Good. I know all the controls are dirty. That's one of the things I discovered. Again. Alright. So I'm just running the controls now. I know rather, that there is an AM/FM switch on here. And there it is. Okay. So there's the AM/FM switch. And it is also sealed up pretty well. I don't know if there's any way to get in there easily. I'm kind of wondering. Let's see here. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to hook up speakers, and I'm going to see if my problem was the result of dirty controls. If not, then we'll go from there. Some radios have two connections for the common point of the speakers, ground side of the speaker. Of course, some of that has to do with the design of the amplifier and the fact that they really are separate and they need to stay separate. Some radios, like this one, have a common ground for the left and right channel. And even on radios where that was the case, they would often have individual common connections for the it's hard to talk and do at the same time, isn't it? For each, there'd be common and the plus side for the left and for the right side. This one, well, it's an expensive radio, so I guess they're shaving costs wherever they can. They don't do that. You have a single common connection, and then of course the left and right channel. Okay. So that's what we got. After you plug it in. And let's see, volume down, balance is good, tone somewhere in the middle.
Music heading your way in the Brattleboro area this Friday at the Brattleboro Music Center.
That control's still dirty.
Ensemble that they're playing the Baroque Don Quixote music by Telemach, amongst other pieces. Friday at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock at the Brattleboro Music Center. You can find those details at bncvt.com.
I believe our problem is controls.
Thanks so much for joining me this morning. Now, our musical historians are those wonderful detectives of history, and they rediscovered Mozart.
Alright, so we're going to try a different cleaner, because that's not working well. So not as well as I would like, so let's try this again. Please stop doing that. For some reason this has decided that it's going to keep falling off on me. And let's see, once again you're seeing nothing. Alright, so this is my volume control, and we're going to give it another shot. We're going to use the deoxit on it this time. Oops. Alright. Hopefully this control is cleanable. I've had some that really weren't. Kind of hope this was one of the ones it is. That's much better. think, well, I don't know if that shows up on the camera, the left and right, but the problem is resolved, and let's see, that's on FM. This is for fun. So I was telling you that this is a realistic Modulette 8A with 8-track. I have an 8-track tape. Maybe I'll try that and see if that works. It would be interesting. So let's go to AM. Well, taking a lighter out of me. Is this? Well, that's our local AM. Well, not local. Let's try see what our local AM station does. I know it's gonna be a lot louder if I find it. Now let's see. That's our local AM station. They're playing some oldies. It's actually sounded pretty good. Of course, the speakers I've got it running through are pretty decent. It does look like this control for the channel selection is dirty. So that will have to be addressed. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get in there. They didn't make it very easy to do that. This is completely sealed. Let me see, can I get a view of that? It's kind of hiding down there in the corner. Let's see here. Yeah, you can sort of see that. There. So, alright, so, unfortunately, no, that's not nice. The back end of this is closed. This is completely sealed all the way around. On the front side, the shaft that slides in and out basically fills the entire space very tightly. The only thing I can see is a little tiny hole right there, and I probably will try that, but well, what the heck, why not? I have nothing to lose. I'm kind of annoyed this top keeps coming off this. Slide that all the way forward. Let's try this again. Yeah. Good save. Okay, so Let's sit back on out. Alright, well, let's see if I didn't want that to do that. Alright, fine. Okay.
Alexa, listen to WB.
Well,
Right.
All right. Have a great.
that,
All right. Talk to you all.
that solves the problem. Son of a gun. Alright, I'm going to swipe my 8-track tape, such as it is. Let's see. Wow, it works. It's not, I'm jogging. I haven't done anything. Okay, that's okay. Yay, wow. At this point, all I have invested in this is a few minutes of my time and some control cleaner. Because this is this is working. I really did not expect the 8-track part of this thing to work. It's working better than the 8-track in my Panasonic stereo, because I have an AM/FM stereo, much larger unit, but a more expensive unit, and the 8-track in that thing is a little sketchy, and I've tried doing different things, and I don't remember now if it's a belt problem or an alignment problem. I don't remember, but I don't know what this thing costs. I mean, this is, you know, probably 70s vintage, and you know, there are some issues like the laminate, such as it is peeling off. Nothing the glue won't fix, I think, and a little bit of it's missing, but right now I have $0 invested in this. Somebody was giving it away for free, and I said, huh, well, even if it has issues, maybe a failed transistor or something, it would be fun to work on it and troubleshoot it. Well, this all I can say is I'm surprised, stunned, really. I don't think this thing's been worked on. I don't see any signs that it's ever been worked on, and other than dirty controls, this thing is fine. I don't know what they paid for this thing when it was new, but I guess it tells you how well they made this thing back then. Alright, so this is the 8-track. And as basic as it gets, as basic as it can be. And here's the thing. Let's put this around. Now, I also have a Panasonic standalone 8-track, and I've had problems with this. Well, get it in the camera and maybe you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's try this again. And yes. go. This, right here, is the solenoid that changed the tracks. And my Panasonic standalone 8-track player probably cost more than this entire unit did when I bought it. And I've had to take it apart and repair this because it got all gummed up and it didn't work well, and it would stay on one track. So if you like that track, you're all right. It wasn't very helpful. You lacked a little bit in the variety department, but I mean this. I don't know. I guess I'm geeking out here. This is as basic as it gets. The drive motor, your flywheel, the sensor that tells you that when it's time to change tracks, and obviously there's a capacitor somewhere because I shorted across that and it triggered. There's your head. Your playback head's hiding under the flywheel. I don't think I'd care to measure the wow and flutter, but what I listened to certainly seemed fine. It was good enough to listen to. And this is dirt cheap, and it works. It works as well as anything I own. Well, now, well, I guess once I stop my head from spinning in circles, this is just crazy. Well, there's really not much to do to this. This was not what I expected to encounter, and I guess this is going to be just a very short video. Let's see, is there anything else of interest on the back side of this? Well, if you want to see the what's on the circuit board, let's see here. And we'll zip in a little bit here. Very basic. You know, this has a this tuner is what's typically used in portable transistor radios. They didn't spare any expense for this. Let's see, is there anything else I need to worry about? Let's take a look at those capacitors on the back side. Make sure they're not bulging or something fun. No, those look fine. Well, now, I know these are Japanese capacitors. Is there a brand name on these? I should probably unplug this before poking around. Although I know the capacitor will probably still have a charge for a while. Is there any brand name on those? Traxco? Traxcon. Oh, Tracon. There we go. Tracon. Tracon. I'm not familiar with those. Judging from everything else on this, I'm suspecting that those are not high-end. Because that's not a name I'm familiar with. You know, and I see that they've built this thing to a cost. You know, they've got the controls that are less expensive that still work. Basically, this is a transistor radio stuck inside a box with the less expensive tuner. But it seems to work just fine. There's no. And here's the thing: this must have been stored someplace where it was not damp. Because one of the things you'll encounter with these is corrosion will occur. Because they do still have they have to have. They have metal fins, but I think they're aluminum. Of course, I think they probably usually are. Now that I think about it, but you've got little aluminum plates that are the moving part, and then in between the plates is a thin layer of plastic to insulate them, to keep them from touching, which of course would stop them from being capacitors and typically dead short. So what tends to happen though is moisture gets into the air, causes corrosion, and they stop working very well. And then, of course, if you shoot a cleaner in there to get them working again, which frequently does work, you'll wind up with having to retune the radio because that extra layer caused by the cleaner increases the capacitance, I'm thinking, anyway. I believe that's what would happen. And so and it's not much, but it's enough to throw it out of tune, so you'd have to realign it if you clean it. But this is working. The way the thing is tuning and picking in. Now, I should tell you, this area is horrible for AM reception. So, and also, we're finally getting back into fall, winter weather, and for whatever reason, something got me. For whatever reason, in the summer months, our already lousy AM reception goes south on us. It gets worse, and so it's not a good area for AM reception. And actually, I want to try something. Now, I do have to orient this radio a certain way in order to get it to receive at all. Not unusual, because you've got a little bar antenna, somewhat directional AM antenna. Well, something is breaking down, because I'm getting black stuff all over myself. And that's not good. I'll deal with that later. Okay. Here's what I want to do, just to wrap up. I want to see, there's a station that's down the bottom that may or may not be available on this radio. Let's see here. Okay. AM. Okay. And let's see. There. Alright, we want to go down here. I silenced it for the moment. Well, let's see. This should go. Oh. That little lamp, the LED lamp, most of my radios do not like it. Well, let's see. One more station we can look for. I'll be shocked if you find it. Because 810 is not coming in all that well. You can't hear it very well, but there's a station there. Yeah, I think that's 890. It actually picked it up. Well, now it's got a little bit of squealing when you're changing channels. So that could mean that some of these capacitors are less than healthy. General opinion is that these capacitors are likely not great. Now, if this is 70s vintage stereo, then that means that this is 50 years old, and I guess it wouldn't be surprising to have some of these to be open or out of value. In fact, they might all be, I don't know. But But overall, I'm truly amazed at how well this thing works. And you get a decent channel, and it sounds surprisingly good, even though it's got these tiny little transistors. Let's see, does it tell you anything about the output? 40 watts. So I'm assuming it's 20 watts per channel, which is probably about right for these little transistors. But, you know, with a decent set of speakers, this doesn't sound too bad. I mean, those are decent speakers. I'm stopping right here for now. I just kind of ran out of time a little bit today, but if I decide to get into the capacitors, check those out, then I'll come back and see what we can find out.